Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to this episode of Just Our Take. I'm Nancy Smith,
And I'm Danny Ingvis.
and here we go again. A not so G-rated episode.
Ooh.
We had fun with the last one. We
We did.
have
We did.
we had to do it again.
Let's see if we can
And I
still
think I
not get
think
in
you know
trouble.
we're not going to get in trouble. I want to say when we're together off camera, we talk about all this
We do.
stuff.
We do.
Probably more than we do on camera. So I really don't know why we don't just make the entire podcast about what we talk about
Just
directly
take
because
just take the camera out with
it's
us when we go out
so
and just have a little,
spicy. Oh.
I do think we
Well,
talk a little
welcome.
faster then too, so that would be hard to
Right,
keep up.
right. Well, I must say we're professional to a point because we've learned to slow it down for our camera
We
and our
have.
taping. And so we won't do what we normally do, which is a 3 hour jam session of everything we think about, and then we're still not done.
Yes.
But welcome to our episode of Just Our Take with Nan and Dan. Tonight's episode is Sexy, Not Sexy. Because there's a lot sexy and there's a lot not so sexy. And we want to share that. We thought it'd be fun to talk about, even just for us to get a good laugh.
Works for me.
So
Works for me.
good. Well, good. Well, and I debated on stop talking about a disclaimer, but I really don't want to get in trouble. Although we're getting into a different kind of trouble. But I thought let's just get the disclaimer out of the way, just so people understand we are just two friends having a grand old time. And our disclaimer is pretty straightforward, but this podcast is not to be used as a professional or medical guide, but rather entertainment and a place to share our experiences, realities, joys, and woes. This should not take the place of a medical professional. So here we are.
So here we are. Yes, do not
Back
take
at
our
it.
advice. Or take our advice, but just know that we're not professional.
Right. Maybe this is better advice than professionals. I think it is.
Two old ladies. Yeah.
Oh, well, this is the way we roll. I don't think we're so old. In fact, we're staying young.
Trying. Trying.
We're trying. We're doing our best. We're doing our best, peeps, all five of you listening to us. And thank you to everybody who's listening to us. We have quite a few views considering we're just two gals who haven't even promoted our podcast yet, but we will be. We will be.
No, it's time to
I'm gonna
flood. It's time to flood the internet, the whatever we're gonna call it. Flood the zone. Flood the zone.
flood the zone with us two crazies. Us
What
two
that
crazy
means.
midlife ladies. Well, I tell you, it's been a crazy week. Every week's crazy. Every week is nuts, but this is the fun part of my week. So just talking with you and chit-chatting and doing our podcast. I'm loving it.
Yeah, we could have easily said we
Yeah.
can't do this today. You didn't have Wi-Fi earlier. I got stuck at work because we didn't have Wi-Fi, and we could have canceled, and we
But
didn't.
we didn't.
We
But we didn't.
didn't. Because
No.
now we're gonna laugh. It's gonna be fine. Okay.
No, and last time we got together, we were talking about doing Am I My Mother episode, but we're doing that, and that's coming probably next or maybe two down the road. But for tonight, we thought we'd focus on something fun, something that we talked about when we were together with our husbands and friends,
Right?
sexy and not sexy. In fact, it just came about that we were talking about this. So I said, let's do it now. So let's do it. And so I just wanted to say this is again not so G-rated. Anything can come off our lips. We
So
own
we
it.
do want our children to
We own it.
listen, but
Yes, we do. It's all good. It's all good. We own it. We own it. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Dan. Your segment.
all right. So what you drinking tonight?
Oh, don't tell me
I
we're not on the same page
We
again. I
have
thought
not
tonight
been.
for sure we would be
S-
together.
So
Woo, again.
I'm
Look at
literally just doing
me.
some black tea because I don't know. I wanted wine. I was driving home thinking I needed a glass of wine, but I couldn't commit to that bottle over the next couple of days. So I'm going with this in my favorite mug. I lost my favorite mug a couple years ago. I broke it on some terrible day.
Oh, no,
And
that's
then my daughter replaced it for me at Christmas time. It's my Today with Willie
wow.
guys. So isn't it so cheery? This is my
It
morning
is.
mug for the weekends because it's cheery.
That is perfect. Look at you.
And I
And that
love
is
the
a
news, and
big
so I have all
mug.
these cups. It is, well, all my mugs are big, but
That's a mug. And
make
you're doing
make
black tea. It's caffeinated?
yes, because I, unlike you, can drink caffeine at five
Girl.
o'clock in the
I
afternoon.
can, so, and you won't wake up at 2 in the morning
No,
wide awake.
No, I haven't been sleeping the last couple nights anyway, so maybe this will do the reverse, but it had nothing to do with sleeping.
Maybe.
So,
But let me ask you about the sleeping thing because we are midlife ladies, and this is something interesting or not interesting to our group, both men and women. When you say you haven't been sleeping, you normally sleep like a rock. You have no problem. You don't wake
yes.
up in the middle of the night.
Yes. I can usually tell you I can nap on the couch and then I can wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning, do dishes, and go back to bed and not have a problem falling back asleep. When I fall
Mm.
asleep, I sleep hard. But the last couple of nights I haven't. My neck has been bothering me,
Oh,
and
I hear you.
I
Mine
think of what
too.
else. I don't even know what else
My
what it was.
hip,
I just couldn't
my
sleep.
neck.
Oh, and a little hot flash here and there, which I didn't used to have, and now they're doing it. So it's been a thing, and I have
Um,
not been enjoying it. It's been like the last 3 nights. I'm like, what is happening?
Now, I'm not going to see you this weekend. So, are you saying you're not going to be drinking wine this weekend?
Oh, I am going to be drinking wine this weekend because I'm going to my in-laws for like
Oh,
less than
that's right.
48 hours. So a 4 hour trip to Connecticut to have a little quick Christmas thing, and I will be drinking. And the Eagles are on, so I'll be watching the Eagles with the Rams because my father-in-law's a Rams fan. We'll be doing that on Sunday, and I will be
Oh,
drinking.
oh, wow, that's going to be good.
So yes,
That,
I'm drinking, whether it's
that's going to be
wine
really good.
or margaritas. I don't know yet.
Well,
All right,
cheers to us.
cheers.
Cheers.
You needed that wine. Cheers.
Cheers. I did. I already started.
Mm.
Mm. So I already had a glass of wine, but it's
Oh,
okay.
you're already two in? Okay.
Yeah, well, one in. I'm starting on my
Sorry,
second.
second. Sorry.
So anyway,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought
you'll
we
be
would
there.
get onto it.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. So this is not a serious episode. This is just a fun episode. So anybody who likes to listen to us, who wants something serious, some stats, some real deal, like maybe the economy or life or the climate or something, this is not the episode for
Not
you.
this one.
This
No.
is just for fun. It's just two gals talking fun, talking to good stuff. So anyway, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I just thought there's something we want to describe. There's two things going on here. First of all, when we say sexy, not sexy, just for clarification, this is not sexual. There's to me there's a big difference between that. I mean,
I
don't you see
hadn't
the
really
difference?
thought about it, but yeah.
Sexual
Yeah.
is a person I think that can be intimate at any moment or sexual, that's intimacy. You're sexual with your partner, whoever they are, whatever you're doing. That's being sexual, acting on your intimate thoughts and whatnot. Sexy are characteristics that can be anything. That can be physical, mental, behavior, anything at all. So I thought this would be a fun one because this is something we talked about on our own over the weekend.
Right. Well, one of the things I was thinking, and we don't have to go into it, but when you're thinking about like sexy music, sexy movies, like it can be a thing, it could be a person, but it can also be a thing. And
We're not talking
what does
porn
that
though.
for you? I
You're not
was
talking
not
porn.
talking porn. Not tonight. No.
Oh my goodness. Did you hear that whole thing with the judge? Did you hear that whole thing with Judge Alito, one of the Supreme Court judge? They were talking about Pornhub, which is a porn site, and
Yeah.
they were asking questions about it. And I guess they were looking for regulations. And I apologize, I don't know all the specifics, but I did hear this part. Like he went on to describe, well, are they giving tutorials? Are they describing articles? Are they talking about, certain things that go on? Or Pornhub is straight porn. Like you're looking at naked bodies, naked sex acts between whoever, whatever, all kinds of crazy stuff. And this guy's talking about articles like you'd see in a Playboy magazine. Like, what are you snot? Come on, man.
Ah. So
Well, I
clearly the
guess he's not
Supreme
looking at
Court
Pornhub.
doesn't have their finger on the pulse. So,
Right. Well,
um, or anything
that means.
else.
Sorry for his
All
wife.
right.
That's why she's flying that flag.
But
She's
we
looking at
should
some.
talk about that at some point, movies and music, because I did start like a list. I kind of went off and I was like, oh, let me list all the music I find sexy. So we can't do that tonight. We don't have
Ooh,
enough time. We've delayed long enough. But I did create
ooh,
that. That would be kind of cool. Like movies
that's
that we like
neat.
and music that really
Oh,
works, or not even just
well,
sexy,
most
but
of the
that you
movies,
like.
unless they're a porn. I mean, the movies that we see are like a soft porn or like a sexual innuendo, or just something like Top Gun, where you see if you're a Tom Cruise fan, which I'm going to get into that because I am not on that list, and it's not even a
Okay.
Scientology. It's just not there for me. I mean,
So,
reality is Tom Cruise is just not there for me. But like
oh,
Top Gun, he
sexy
has some
movie,
sex
yeah.
appeal. I mean, sex appeal and sexy are the same to me. Sexual is not.
No, I get you.
But
No, that's different. Yep.
Tom Cruise had something, especially in Top Gun, the first one, with
Yeah.
the woman that starred with him. I forget her name already. What the heck's her
Um,
name? Oh my
I
gosh.
don't remember. I can picture it, but I can't remember.
Kelly Gillis.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, look at that recall.
See, you're doing all right. You took that whatever medicine that is for that brain today.
Whatever that was, that Prevagen.
I don't know. I don't remember.
This episode is sponsored by Prevagen.
I think my dad
That's
takes
not
it. He
true.
says he
That's
likes
not true.
it, but
Who does? Who
yeah.
does?
My
Who?
dad, I think he takes it, but he
Does it
probably doesn't
work?
remember to take it, so he
Oh,
doesn't
gee.
probably. That was mean. I
Who is
shouldn't
it
have said that. I
working?
don't know that that's true.
Yeah,
That was
sorry,
mean.
Dad.
That was mean.
We all could use it. We all could use it. You hit 30 and it's like kind of memories down the tubes. But anyway, I thought it would be a lot of fun if we just described, which we did. We talked about the difference between sexual and sexy. So this episode is people or in like is situations or characteristics that are sexy, not sexy.
Right.
So I can name plenty of things that are not sexy. I mean, that's easy. Have you ever seen that Seinfeld episode with the woman naked? And she's naked and everything, and it's this girl he's dating, and she's always naked, and she's doing all kinds of naked things. And then
Oh
he
yeah.
pans the picture, and she's naked. She has a jar of pickles between her legs, and she's trying to open them. Not
That's not that's not sexy.
not sexy. In fact, I just watched. It came up on its own. Maybe something heard me doing this episode or talking about it. But there was a skit on SNL with Kristen Wiig.
Okay.
She's talking all kinds of sexy, and she's like, "Oh, hey guys," and she's wearing a real tight shirt, and she's all sexy. And she's like, "If you don't mind, I want to just fan the fire." And they're like, "Oh, please do." And they're all like fawning over her and drooling and everything. And she goes over and she starts taking the whatever it is, the air
Yeah, yeah,
thing, the
yeah.
pumper. I don't even know what the name of it is. And fan of the fire, and she's crouched down, going, "Ugh, ugh." This obnoxious grunting noise. They're like, "Yeah, not
Nope.
sexy, not
That
sexy." It's
something like
I
that could
laughed,
turn you off in a second.
but I saw that today and I was
Oh,
dying.
that's
I was like,
funny.
"That is
That's
so." It was really, really funny. It was appropriate.
it only
Oh,
takes
naked
one thing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like and what's the saying? So the saying is that you may find somebody really sexy and hot, but there's someone at home that finds that person really annoying or something like that or
Oh my
something like
gosh.
that. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
it's funny because one thing Pete said today, like I think it was Don Rickles. Don Rickles said it to John Stamos, I want to say. John Stamos and Don Rickles, go figure, they were very close and they
yeah.
were on Howard Stern or John Stamos was on Howard. And he started talking about because they just he befriended him. He always looked up to him and he just they were very close, ironically. It's kind of an odd couple.
Yeah.
And Don Rickles was at a restaurant and they were having dinner and he was sitting down and this woman comes in and she's absolutely gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous, perfect body, perfect everything. And he turns to John Stamos and he goes, "Can you believe it? There's somebody out there who's tired of effing that girl."
Yeah.
And he's
That's
like,
what I was thinking, something just like that. Yeah.
right? Right?
Yeah.
She's just gorgeous. You're like, jaws
Yeah.
drop. You're like, "Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
gosh, he's
yeah.
amazing." And they're like, "There's somebody out there who's with her.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Tired of that."
Somebody's sick of that. Somebody's tired of that. Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
true.
gosh.
That's true.
We're such animals. We love it.
I mean, we are. We are. I never said I wasn't.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, right. We all are. That's good stuff. Oh my goodness. Well, anyway, so let's get on to our topic. So the flash topic for tonight is sexy, not sexy. And what we want to talk about is what we find sexy. And we did a little research. We did a
Yeah,
little
we did.
research and we went to Google and we wanted to find out exactly what was sexy and not sexy, according to the peeps, according to the research done by Google, which we'll just, talk about. So anyway, I went on to say, oh my goodness, I guess we did decide the difference between sexual and sexy. So anyway, you agree with that, right, Dan?
I do. I do.
There's a
I
difference.
do. I definitely agree. Sexually appealing, but like I said, could be a person, could be a thing, depends on what you're looking at. But yeah, absolutely.
By the way, did you catch me on that when you mentioned movie versus music? Definitely a true thing for me. 100%. If I listen to songs, they'll put me in the mood. And not necessarily even for a sexual mood, but a
Better move.
closeness or
Oh,
a connection.
yeah.
Any music that I like can totally get me in the zone. And I think I'm using music these days. Like I drop my mother off after my long day. I pick my mother up and she usually hangs out while I'm in my office and I'm working and I periodically peep out and serve her, lunch and whatever and just make sure she's okay while I'm go back into my office and work. And I dropped her off. And the moment I dropped her off, I put on one of my favorite songs or a song that I really enjoy. It gets me in the zone.
Name
It's
one.
not necessarily that I feel sexy or sexual. Well, this one was a Taylor Swift song.
I had
You're
a
shocked.
feeling you might say that.
But a lot of I know I'm
That's
such, I'm trying, I'm digressing. But it could be anything. It could be heavy metal. It could be a Journey song because I'm a big Journey fan. I mean, it could be any song that I truly, truly enjoy. Like there's a lot of songs like James Bay. There's a, Hold Back the River. I love that song. Gets me totally razzed up. I love it. Any song to get me out of that zone. Because you
Yeah,
become like a
yeah, yeah. Let's
caretaker.
make you feel good.
You
Hmm.
become like just beholden to everybody else. I want to feel good. I want to feel young. And I'm like,
No, absolutely.
I'm gonna try to stay young until I'm 75 or older. That's the goal. That's the goal.
That is the goal. And I would think like for me, like an Otis Redding or a Lenny Kravitz
Oh, let's get
or
it on.
Don. Let's get it
Al
on.
Green.
I love that one. That's actually on here. Or
Sexual
Marvin
healing by
Gaye's
Marvin
Marvin
Gaye.
Gaye's
Sexual
Sexual
healing.
Healing. But then like I was looking up some stuff, and one of the ones that I was like, oh, you know what I love? Remember Donna Summer's "Love to Love You, Baby"?
Oh, love to love you,
But it's
baby. That's a
just
good
like,
song.
yeah.
Or
All
dim
right,
all the
I'm not gonna
lights.
sing because no one wants to hear me singing. But
Oh,
that one was like, oh, that's a good
dim
one. That
all the
came on.
lights. Dim all the lights. I
Yes, yeah.
love
I
that
mean,
one.
I'm a
That's a
huge Donna
great
Summer fan.
song.
So yeah, right, right.
I love it. I'm a huge Donna Summer fan. Sometimes I forget. It's like really crazy. The songs, there's so many songs out there you forget about. Like
Hmm.
fabulous. That's great. That's
70s would be my
awesome.
go-to. I would definitely go back to the 70s. I love 70s music. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm. Absolutely.
All right. So what
Absolutely.
characteristics did Google tell us that were
So let's start with the men. Let's
all
start with
right.
what they say according to the research that we did. The very, very important high
Google
level
research.
research that we did. And these were similar to things I would have thought. So we talked about this before, but there's different levels of intimacy as we change with our age. We know that. And sometimes you
Hmm.
have to kind of rely on these little sex appeal things to get the fires started, the home fires burning. We talked about that.
Yes, we did talk about that.
That's freaking fantastic. That never gets old. But anyway, so I thought it'd be fun for us to look up these sexy attributes and characteristics of our loved ones or people that we're attracted to. Same sex, hetero, man, woman, 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 man, man, it doesn't matter. But I thought it'd be fun to talk about it. So, according to Google, they have a list of what a sexy man or the sexy traits of a man would be. Okay, and I'm just going to run through a few of them.
Okay.
Sense of humor, easy.
Hmm.
Sense of humor, of course. So everybody, I think
Yeah,
that's pretty unanimous. Most people say that.
I think so too.
Ambition, of course. Women always say it's a guy, a go-getter, because it's kind of not like if he's sitting on a sofa
Yeah,
and you're out
yeah,
working like five
yeah.
jobs. It's like total turn off. But anyway, attractiveness. Attractiveness is so subjective. What's
It
attractive?
is.
Because especially,
Hmm.
I gotta just elaborate on this for a minute because I think one person wants to say, like, oh my gosh, the features, the chiseled face, this guy looks just like, whoever, Tom Cruise or whoever, Hugh
Someone
Jackman,
who
who
says
you
Tom
think is
Cruise is
completely.
not attractive, you brought him up 3 times so far. Just
Well, okay, first of all,
I'm just teasing.
I know that's true. That's very true. By the way, is this going on there with me and Tom? No, but I'm we're about the same height. But anyway, I let me just say, I think Tom Cruise is extremely good looking.
Yeah, he is.
I do, especially since he had those teeth fixed. He had those teeth that were all off to the side. You remember that? He had those teeth.
Yes, jacked. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to move around. But anyway, he is a good-looking guy. I'm not going to say that, but he's not my speed, his personality and everything. But I will say his attractiveness is pretty obvious to most people. However, you can get somebody who is not chiseled or perfect features or a big smile, big grill, great teeth or whatever, and still be extremely attractive. I mean, I think again, this is going to peel back the physical, and I think men think women want that, and we don't. I don't think most women. I'm going to say probably 25 to 30% of women look at the featurely handsome guy and go, "That's my guy." But I want to say the majority of us see attractiveness very differently. And I think it goes hand in hand with the other characteristics of being sexy.
Agree, agree. So you can be good looking. Tom Cruise is good looking, but and I think that the part that he plays, he makes those parts very sexy and oh, look at that. And but when it
Mhm.
comes to personality, he's a little off. Like, when you have them sitting in front of a talk show host and talking to the talk show host, and you're like, you're a bit odd.
Yeah, he's a
And
bit
then
of
you
a
get to
tweak.
know them as a person, not as the actor that they are. So there's that part, but then there's the personality. I think that your personality, you can be the hottest guy in the world.
Hmm.
Hot, money, have everything.
Hmm.
But if you're an asshole,
Yeah.
you're unactractive immediately. So,
Eh,
you just
turn
say
off.
something or you just, yes, it doesn't matter how much
Turn
money you
off.
have. For me personally, it doesn't matter
Okay,
how much money you have. It doesn't matter
Elon
what you look
Musk.
like. Oh, personality has a
Elon
lot to do with
Musk,
it.
successful guy, has 13 children with all different women.
Who is that?
I mean, just not, dude. Elon Musk.
Oh, Elon
Elon
Musk. Oh,
Musk,
first of all, he's
not
just not
good looking
attractive.
at all. Not attractive at
I'm trying to
all.
figure out who's doing it, but are these women doing it for the money because he's so rich? They
Oh, I
don't
would do
care.
it
Give
for the
me a
money.
baby, now I'm tied to him. I don't know. I'm not judging those women. I'm not saying that they are.
No, not at
Maybe
all.
they
This
are
is
falling
not
in
a
love with them. But there is not a chance. I don't care about your money. I would never sleep with someone or
no.
marry someone for money because I couldn't. I couldn't
It,
sleep
yeah,
with
it
you
leaves
just
you
because you have
empty.
money.
It leaves you empty inside. I think,
Yeah.
okay, so we go back to the big, we always talk about this, but the most important thing for people, whether they want to admit it or not, is relationships. And that's the base of the good life. We talked about this before, and that is the foundation for happiness, I believe.
I
And
believe
now
too.
relationships
Yeah.
can be different.
Hmm.
Relationships can be different. They can be intimate, they can be financial, they can be a lot of things. But at the end of the day, a relationship for someone like that, I don't care about how much money's in his bank account. It's just empty and hollow. And I just know that happiness, money doesn't buy happiness. I think not having money can make you really, really stressed and certainly strip you of happiness. But having money doesn't give you happiness. So it's kind of a weird
Money will
twist.
help you be happier, but money cannot be
I,
the only driving force.
well, I
It
don't,
can
and
by
I,
helping you
maybe
pay the
you're
bills and
right.
doing things you want to do,
Well,
but
right, right. I don't know if it can make you happy,
it
but
can
I
help you.
think not, well, maybe so. But I also think not having it can stress you, maybe make you happy
Sure.
more than
No,
having
absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
But whatever the
No.
case, I think, a man being an attractive man is maybe to me more than even the money is his ambition, the drive. Do you want to be successful? Do you want to achieve? Do you want to be strong and so and provide? And maybe even provide. I know that is so like archaic today. Men provide for the women and we just sit back and have babies and wash dishes and barefoot and pregnant.
Oh, aren't
That
you
would
doing
never
that?
happen now.
Isn't that what you did all day today?
Never did that. Never
No, but
wanted to do that. But
no, so him having ambition, that doesn't mean that doesn't take away from our ambition, but that you don't want you being the one working and him sitting on the couch unless he's a stay-home dad, which is absolutely okay,
it can
which he
happen.
probably wouldn't be
Sure.
sitting on the couch. But both have to be for the same goal. So yes, you don't so
Yeah.
ambition, yes, but not ambition at the well, we can't be, but they have to be. But so yes, and I'm sure they would want that for us too.
No,
So
I agree. I
yeah,
agree. So anyway, confidence kind of goes hand in hand. And
sure.
funny, we'll get into this a little bit later because confidence was the common characteristic on every poll and every list I saw on both sexes. So that's an interesting thing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
across the board. That's across
Well,
the board.
let's
I guess, we all have insecurities, but I think an insecurity is a little different than being completely insecure.
right.
So confidence is across the board one of the sexiest traits for both men and women. And in our not professional poll that we took over the weekend. So, but it is true.
It's
So
true.
that's
Yeah.
good. But here's a funny one that I kind of highlighted, and I got something to tell you about it. Smelling good for men. Men who smell good are considered sexy to other women.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't want to smell a
You
bad one.
agree?
Yeah.
No. Wait a
So
minute. There's a
I
difference
don't,
between smelling good and smelling bad. I mean, that smelling bad, forget it. You're
but
done.
like
You're done.
smelling
You're
good, but
done.
like I don't want all the colognes and all that kind of stuff, but the smell of just a man. Like
So,
I'm a
okay. Oh, I
man,
like.
but I smell like man,
Okay.
but not bad.
So you're not a cologne person. It doesn't matter
No,
if your husband wears cologne.
I
So
am
here's the
not.
So now me, I am, but not over cologne. Not over cologne. I think too much cologne is like it's definitely not appealing. But
Yeah.
if I smell a man, even if it's in the grocery store, at the hospital where I work, or anywhere, and he smells good, I'm like, oh, I may not think he's sexy, but I'm impressed that a person cares enough that he
Sure.
smells so good. So here's the funny thing. Before I came on tonight, I put on my husband's cologne that I really, really like. And I smell really good. Well, I smell like my husband, who I think smells good. And it's very faint, very soft. and he wears it all the time, and he gets a lot of compliments on it. It's nothing fancy or anything, but I think smelling good's a good one. I think that's good.
No, I
I
think
don't
it's a
think
good
that's
one
be
for
all
sure.
be all, but it can make a guy sexy.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree.
Alrighty.
If I smell it, I wouldn't mind it, but I'm not. It's not a make or break for me at all. But just don't
No,
stink.
I get it.
I
No, no,
like the
don't.
smell of just man.
I like testosterone smell. You know, there is that smell. Go into a barber shop. I've gone into barber shops. I'm like, man, it smells like testosterone in here.
I don't know
All
what
I
that
smell is
smell is, but
man.
that's what that is.
It's not a locker room. It's not a locker
No,
room.
yeah, that I don't
Gentlemen,
know.
if
Yeah,
you're listening, it's not a locker room smell. We don't like that.
for sure.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, so just to name a few more, honesty. I mean, you don't want a guy that's going to be a lion, rug. We don't want
I
any of
like
that.
honesty.
I like
I like it a
honesty.
lot. Like I would,
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
yeah,
like, what guys are
not
not
brutal
honest? I mean,
honesty, but like if I ask you if I look too fat in these pants, you better say yes because if I do and I go outside and you lied to me, I'll be pissed. But that's an oversimplified one. But like I want you to tell me the truth. If I'm being overbearing or being over that, like I don't know. What you see is
right.
what you get. But yeah, I get to a
That's
point.
true.
Okay. All
That's
right.
true. How about
What else?
intelligence? Definitely intelligence. In
Oh, I want to be
fact,
able to have a conversation.
a conversation is one thing, but let me just say this. So I obviously work at a hospital and I work with physicians, and usually, typically a physician or someone who's in a professional has a professional degree, they usually have a certain level of intelligence. I mean, I'm sure there's some that squeak by the lower
Hmm.
end of their
Hmm.
class and whatnot, but I really find it attractive.
Oh, I
I
do
find
too.
it sexy when a
Hmm.
guy is smart and knows his stuff. I think it's great, or is really good in their field, whatever it is. Even a guy that may be an electrician, a plumber, anybody who is that smart and intelligent and knows his stuff, definitely a sexy thing.
Wait, so it knows his stuff, so it's intelligent. And then when you ask them to explain it to you, they explained it to you in terms that you can understand without making you feel like you're an idiot. I know a couple of professionals that I can ask them anything, and I know they've been doing it for 50 years, and I just asked a dumb question, not because I'm dumb, because I don't understand your field. It's not my expertise. So when I ask a question, and I love when they explain it, they know I don't know it, and they break it down for me, and it's like in the nicest way, like not like, here you go, you dumbass, but like, explain it to me. And then when they're done, I really understand what they just said, all this
Yep.
technical stuff.
They can
So I
talk
love
their
like a
shop. They
smart
can talk
person
their
who's not
talk.
cocky, knows your field, but not cocky, and and
That's confidence.
and
That's
teaching someone else. So the confidence,
confidence.
but also intelligent. So all goes hand and not an asshole. So we talked about that. So
Yeah. Well, asshole's definitely not. That's sexy. Not
so I like
sexy.
that. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, if you look at it
That's a
that
good
way.
one. So anyway, and the other thing here is trimmed beard. Trimmed beard was on there. That
I
was one of the
mean,
top ones.
it better be trimmed.
Well,
Like, what else are we
well,
looking at?
well, let's back up the truck. No, I know people that don't have trimmed beards. I mean, there's a lot of guys that don't trim their
That's what,
beard.
like complete chaos going on their
Yeah.
face?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And do you
Lots.
find that sexy?
Hell no.
Oh,
Hell no.
okay.
No, I
Okay.
mean okay, so beards are in.
I
So
love
beards are in.
beards. My
Beards are a
husband
big
has a
thing.
full beard. I
I
love
love
beards.
beards. There you go. I
I
told you
am
a
a
story.
facial hair person for a man.
I said to Pete, I said, I want you to grow a goatee.
No.
He's like, I don't think so. Yeah. So I said, grow the goatee for months. Begged them, begged them, begged them. Didn't grow it. Finally, he grew it. Grew the goatee. So he grew it. It was finished. He was shaving. I said, now shave it off. I don't like it. But I like beards. I like the look of them. But
I
with
mean, was
him, I
this
was
like
like, okay, I'm done with this now.
1999 when you asked him to grow that goatee? Because they've
No,
been out for a while.
you know something? I don't even know when it was. It was probably 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And with his
Okay.
profession, he typically doesn't have it. He's like in front of people. So for him to go facial, but now beards are in.
Hmm.
Most men or young men have
And my
dabbled with a
husband's had one
beard,
for quite some
which I
time
think
now
is
because it's
great.
just easier, but he takes good care of it. He shaves it every month,
Uh-huh.
cleans it up. But I like when we go on vacation and it grows out a little bit even more. I love facial hair.
Oh,
But
that's fun.
no, I love it. Well, it's good. It works out for us
Well,
because
he's
he has a
in.
5 o'clock
He's
shadow at
in.
10 o'clock every day. So if he didn't have the beard.
Oh my
So
gosh.
he was ahead the
That's
trend. So
great. That's great.
yeah, no, no.
Well, good for him. He knows
All right, so
himself. He knows
trim
his sex appeal,
beards.
right? Yeah. So that's good. That's good. Well, anyway, so those are the top things that men, according to Google, are sexy, like that makes a man
Okay.
sexy. So let's
Okay.
get to the women. Let's get to what makes a woman sexy. And ironically, of course, humor is for
Yeah.
into the women.
Hmm.
So humor for women, which I think I don't know if men find funny women sexy. I mean, I guess they do. What do I know?
Yeah, if you have a
I
good
guess
sense of
they do.
humor, if you don't take yourselves too seriously, you
Well,
don't get
there's a difference
offended. But
between that.
And you don't get offended by everything, and you like somebody can tell you a joke and you can laugh.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
But, well, that I guess is the same thing. I guess I wouldn't have thought of it that way. But then we have independence. I guess the modern day woman, men want, well, maybe because a man doesn't want to feel so stressed. This woman's not independent. I have to take care of her. I have to financially take care of her. I don't know. I don't know
I
what
don't
it is.
know.
Like, what is it about independence? But that's good. We've shown that men have progressed. We've progressed, and that men want us to be independent just like we want to be.
Okay.
So that was interesting. Attractiveness, of course, the same. And honesty, the same. Intelligence was the same. And how about the fact that men don't want, because I guess of intelligence, a bubblehead, a woman that looks freaking fantastic. And this, it makes me think of my son, who I kind of laugh about because my husband and I joke all the time, and we even say this to him. So we've walked up at Penn State. Obviously he went to Penn State. I went there as well. And we walk on campus, and there's a lot of really attractive young girls. I mean, young girls with the perfect bods. They're skinny little things, not an ounce of fat. They're walking in their little gym shorts, their tight little sports bra, and bebopping around town and looking fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan won't even look their way. My son won't even look their way. And he's had girls come on to him, and actually friends of Delaney that have said, "Oh, I really like your brother's really good looking. I'd like to." Nope. Nope. Can't do a bubblehead, mom. Can't do it.
No,
I
you
kind of get
can't.
it.
There's got to
I
be more
get
to, I'm sure there's
it.
guys that do like that. I'm sure there's plenty of guys in a different
Of
Google
course.
search that absolutely that's all they want. But nah.
It might be the minority, but they're still there. I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree.
But I
But
think the
there are
most do not
guys
want
that
that.
just say,
Yes.
yeah, because I think now you can get the great looking gal, maybe with a fantastic bod, and still be smart.
Yeah,
You can get
absolutely.
it all.
You can have
The bubbleheads
it
would like
all.
after a while it would get old. I mean, they're the ones Don Ruckles was talking about.
She's on
Somebody
somebody's
somewhere is
nerves.
sick of effing that.
Right.
Well, what my husband always did? The test of time was when can you take a car ride with this person? Can you take a 10-hour car ride with this person next
Oh,
to you? I don't care how great looking they are, how sexy you think they are. Can you be in the car with them for 10 hours? Can you stand them? Can you talk to them? Can you just enjoy their company? That's a
that's a
big
good one.
barometer,
Yeah, he tests that out
tells you
with you
whether you
every
want to.
weekend.
I like Yes, he does. When we go out for the coffee date, and we're out for 2, 3, 4 hours.
Ah, no, I
Absolutely.
love that you guys
Thank
do
God for
that.
the pandemic. Yeah, the
Yeah,
pandemic
I love
started
that
that.
you do that. No,
Pandemic
that's
started
cool.
that.
Oh, that's when it started? Okay.
It did.
Yeah.
It started
That's
then
the
because
last
it
thing we want on a Saturday or Sunday morning, but I love that you do that.
what we don't do it in the morning. You know
Oh,
that,
when do
right?
you do it?
We do it probably close between like 1:30, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon is when we go out and do
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we never do it in the morning. I
Oh,
don't
I thought
drink
you were.
coffee in the morning. So I'll drink
Oh,
some coffee, but decaf coffee in the morning, I'll brew it at home. But
okay.
caffeine on the weekends, I don't hit that till a little bit later. It gives me a little bit of a leg up for the night.
Okay.
I can
Okay. I
stay
didn't
awake
realize. I didn't. I
3
guess I heard
hours.
coffee and I assumed morning. I don't know why I thought that.
No, we never do it in the morning. The only
Okay.
time we'll do it in the morning, I should say, is if we meet Ethan and go into the city and we hit a coffee shop, then we would do it. But
Okay.
otherwise, we don't do it.
Otherwise, we don't do it.
Anyway,
Don't
so
do
the
it in
other
the
things that
morning.
don't do it. Well, that's a whole nother. There's another topic. I
Mm-hmm.
love it.
Mm.
So the other thing that I thought was interesting that men find sexy in women is a unique laugh. I kind of don't you remember in Sleepless in Seattle? Oh
Oh
my
yeah,
gosh,
yeah,
that was
yeah, yeah.
Jonah and Jonah starts talking about the girl Victoria that Sam is dating, and she has that hyena laugh. He's like, "Ah," and he starts like mimicking her
Oh
laugh.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh, that is such a great movie. That is a timeless, fantastic. I can listen to that soundtrack over and over again,
I don't think
and
I've ever
that
listened to the soundtrack, but
is funny.
do you see me trying to move this piece
Yeah,
of hair?
but
It
it's
just
funny
keeps
how they
ending up
talk
in
about
front of
that.
my glasses. Sorry. I keep moving this and it's
I
driving
can
me
still
crazy.
see you. I can still
I
see you. It's all good. Oh my goodness. And then the one thing that was really crazy that I read on Google, which blew my mind in this day and age, was which makes a woman sexy is her desire to please and learn.
Okay, I'm gonna go vomit right now. So
What the hell is
who are we
that?
pleasing? Are we pleasing our husbands and everyone else?
I really don't know. And what are you learning?
Well, you're
You're
learning how to be a good wifey and making dinner and having babies and raising them and
Oh
just supporting your
Lord.
husband.
Oh my. Well, anyway, I had to share that one because
Yeah,
that was
thank
really
you. Thank
on
you
there.
for making me want to vomit. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Any- Anyway, anyway. So we did our own little poll with a group of people together over the weekend. We happened to be together last weekend and we did a
We
poll of
did.
our own. It was very impromptu. It was very casual. It was certainly
Wow, we drank
nothing,
really
you
strong
know.
margaritas.
Yes, it was margarita induced.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes that's like truth serum.
Yeah.
You know what I
No.
mean? You're speaking the truth when you have that, especially tequila.
Yeah.
She gets you every time. But anyway, we did our own little poll, and in this group was, of course, us, the heterosexual midlife women. We had young gay women. We had young gay men. We had heterosexual young women. We had everybody in this group. So the big question, of course, we asked the group was, "What do you find sexy?" And the most common comment from everyone was confidence. A confident person
So Google was right.
exudes sexy. So Google was onto something.
Google's
And
onto
we're onto
something.
something because we agree with Google.
We do. We do. Confidence is a good one. Confidence is a really good one. Yeah.
I definitely think so. I definitely think so. I think
But
that's really key. So I
interesting
thought
that
that
it
was kind of
crosses
fun.
over all of the different avenues. I'm not sure what word I'm supposed to say there, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to say too that, I always thought confidence was a big thing. And I think that goes hand in hand with a lot of things. Attractiveness, sexiness, and intelligence. They all kind of go together. To me, they
Hmm.
all go together. Confidence is right in there. That's
Agree.
pretty cool. So how about us? How about us getting it right?
Look at that. Again, still not medical advice, still not sex advice, still not sexy advice.
Right. Please, please do not take this as professional advice. We already
Okay,
talked
wait.
about
So, because we're talking
that.
about Friday, Saturday night, I do have to bring this into the picture. So, if you can see my shirt, wait, ready, watch. This sexy, not sexy. Look. So, I wore this Saturday night, and
So
every time I looked down, I thought my breasts were showing. It's literally a pink heart.
I know it.
So,
And
so for fun, I wore it to work today under a suit jacket, though. And I got
no,
so many reactions today
no
that I had
way.
my police chief was up and I think our superintendent of our assistant superintendent of public works
Oh my
they were
God.
like, look at Danny, she literally wears her heart on her sleeve. And then we start joking around. We just start laughing about it. And I was like, I have so many things I want to say right now. And they just kept it was
Oh
going around. I was like, yeah,
my
we should probably
God.
stop. But like everybody said something like, oh, that's because I don't wear stuff on the front of me. And so even while we're
Oh my
sitting here,
God.
I just keep seeing it. It's making me absolutely crazy. So I might give the sweater away. But
Well, I have to tell you, every time I saw you at the restaurant, I looked across. I'm like, why am I?
wait, let
Whoa!
me just do it
I'm
again.
looking at
Ready? Look, doesn't it look like it? Look
something
at my
here.
cleavage. So I mean, I'm glad we can't see it during in this video right here. But it did get the
I didn't
reaction
see
I
it until you
wanted when it.
pointed it out. Oh my
No, you
gosh.
couldn't. No, right?
That
But
is
when
the
you
best.
bring it up,
That shirt did get me. Now, here's the real question. Does Todd think it's sexy?
my shirt,
Todd, did he think?
I
Yeah. He
don't
didn't
think
find
we
it sexy?
talked about it. I don't think we talked about it.
Oh my,
We
that's
didn't.
so
I know
funny.
he doesn't listen to the
Well,
podcast very often, and we didn't talk about whether or not my shirt was sexy. I don't think my shirt's sexy. I
oh,
find it really
ask him.
annoying. I will ask him when we're
Which I
done.
all I kept thinking was I'm seeing your breast. I kept seeing your breast. I was like, woo, all
That's how
right,
I
girlfriend,
felt.
you're
That's
letting
how
it
I
all
felt.
out.
And then we just got
Oh
drunk
my
off
goodness,
margarita.
that is the
So,
best.
mm.
Margaritas, those girls, woo, man, they catch up to you, don't they?
No, they were really good.
So I'm just gonna tell you real quickly what I think is sexy in a man. And I mean, very similar to what Google said, but actually a little bit different. I'm gonna just go with my top. Of course, it's confidence, facial expressions. I think
Okay.
facial expressions can make a guy sexy. You know why? I like, for instance, like Jason Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna talk about my guy.
Your
His
guy.
eyes, his eyes are very sexy because they're very serious, they're very real, they're very deep, and
Mm-hmm.
that I find really sexy. He just is, and I think that's, we see the eyes are the mirror to the soul and whatever, but probably it's true. But and I think that's what makes it. Maybe it's his facial expression. And they're kind of a little bit stoic, kind of strangely, but it allows you to see in them when there's no expression around them. So that's kind of cool. Anyway,
Okay.
so I thought that was neat. And then strong hands, a guy with strong hands. It's kind of difficult to watch guys with
Strong
these little.
big hands.
They can be big. They can be big.
I can't have it.
It's
I have big hands. I
all
can't have a
good.
guy's hands that are smaller than mine.
Well, that's a good point. That's good. That's kind of, ooh, that's nuts. See what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
have to be like rugged. You know what it is? Like a guy uses his hands for work or does something. He's hands on. He's handy. He does things. Whatever. Like your husband plays guitar. My husband fixes it. Right now, he's building something. I know he's building something in the basement. So I know. And my husband has great hands. He's got really, really good. used, strong, skilled hands. I love that. That kind
Okay.
of sounds
No, I like it
good
too.
too.
Okay. Okay.
That kind of sounds kind
Gotta
of
be
funny
big,
too.
but good.
It doesn't have to necessarily be big,
For
but
me, they
strong,
just have to be bigger
rugged.
than mine. It's not about the
Like you
size
have
of
to
this and the
see
size of
a little
that.
bit of
It's about
the
the,
vein.
yeah.
Yeah, but the veins on them, not these little skimpy girly hands. I can't. No,
Yeah.
that's just not attractive. I
Okay,
always look
that's
at
a
a
good
man's
one.
hands. Man's hands. I also find the way he looks, the way the person looks at you, is very sexy. The way a person looks at someone else, no matter what, how they're looking at somebody is very sexy. So if a guy is looking at you a certain way, or somebody's looking, or a girl's looking at another girl a certain way, it's sexy. That is just really, really sexy.
I like that one. I hadn't really thought about that one. Okay.
Uh-huh. How somebody looks at you is how they're seeing you, how you feel. That's just the total connection. I think that goes hand in hand with me. How somebody feels about me is attractive to me. That I don't know, maybe it's because it's a little bit of my neediness. I don't know if it's a lack of confidence, but neediness, that's what matters to me. So
Okay.
that's a big deal to me. So that may go hand in hand with,
Okay.
feeling loved, maybe feeling wanted. That's a big deal. What else do I have here? Oh, his hair. I like a guy's hair, even if he's bald. Even if he's bald, if he does, maybe a little bit of
Yeah.
hair, like whatever, the way he does it, the way, that's all cool. A great fitting a pair of jeans that fit well.
Okay.
There is nothing better than a guy in a
I,
good pair of jeans. That's sexy, sexy,
that's a good
sexy,
one.
sexy. And barefoot or flip-flops in jeans. I love. I love it. I love it.
Jeans and
Smelling good. I
flip-flops.
put that on my list. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Barefoot Blue Jean Night. Barefoot Blue Jean Night. What's his face sings that song? The country guy.
I
Jake
don't do
Owen.
country. Okay, I don't do
Oh,
country, so I don't know that song.
what is wrong with you? You don't do
Yeah.
country.
Ugh, not
Well,
most of
I
it
know
now.
there's somebody I don't do it
I
for.
used to a long time ago, but different country, like Clint Black and I don't even
Like
know.
old school.
Yeah,
Travis
I
Tritt or whatever,
will
something
not
like
listen
that. Not
to,
Tim
I
McGraw.
didn't like him, but
I never liked him either.
either way,
I like him.
not now.
Not
I mean,
sexy.
Chris Stapleton, Keith Urban. I don't know what else
Chris
is.
Stapleton's off the roof. And Keith
Yeah,
Urban's
I don't even think
he
of him.
acts a little bit like a fool. He's a little metrosexual. That's an old word, but he's a little metro Keith Urban, but he's still really sexy and he is really good.
Yeah, yeah, I think his music's
Sam
sexy.
Hunt, love him.
Yeah,
Sam Hunt's
so
sexy. Sam
yeah,
Hunt's
he's okay.
really sexy if you listen to him sing. Okay. But
Yeah,
anyway, so
singing. Okay.
the last thing I have on my list is man spread.
I'm sorry, what? How's that sexy? Please elaborate because that is the most ridiculous thing I've heard all night. Man spread. So when he sits next to you on the bus and he opens his legs and you can't move like that, you might as well just say mansplaining is sexy too. I'm waiting.
Wait a minute. Well, wait a minute. Okay. So, yes. So, I mean, I don't want him taking up my space on the bus. That's not cool.
For all those times you
Get
take
out
the
of my
bus,
space.
but
I'm
yeah.
not talking about man spreading into my space. I'm talking about man spread. When a guy sits there like that and or he has his hands or his elbows on his arm, I just think that's sexy. You don't find that sexy?
I can't even picture what you're talking about, let alone find out whether it's sexy or not. But I look forward to our next gathering and then you're going to show me what you're talking about.
Wait, when I do it, I can't show
No,
you.
no,
And I
no.
got
No, you'll just point out the
all
next man
right,
that's
all right.
doing
Well,
that because
I'll point it out. I'll
I
point it
has
out. I think.
never, it's never been on my radar of something. Man
But it is
spread
kind of funny that the
sexy.
septic
Okay.
system stopped men. They literally had to say that men are not allowed to man spread. I think that's funny as hell. But it's sexy. But I do agree it is taking
I
up too much
mean, they
space.
probably just, I don't know how they walk around with those things between their legs. So what do you do with them when you sit? I don't know.
Well, it depends on the guy, Dan. It depends on the guy. It may not have any
Some guys,
issues with what's
it's fine.
between
They
their
just close their
legs.
legs and they're
I'm a
fine, but
dude.
it's fine. That's fine. Okay, now, okay, I look forward to elaborate. We will
It's
do
not in
a
the way.
follow-up
Oh,
episode of Nancy, and when we can figure out how to put videos up here or pictures, and we can share with
oh,
everybody
I
what
can.
we're talking about.
We can share that. We can definitely put pictures up. But
Yeah,
but when we
yeah,
get
we got to
when we
get
get
better
more
with that.
advanced, when we get more advanced in our production, we will
Yeah.
definitely be doing that.
So in
Well,
10
let me
years.
hear your list. Let me hear what you think is sexy.
So for
Man
me,
spread.
no, that's absolutely not on my list. But for me, I am so, I love men. We never I after our last one with the what was our
Oh,
episode called?
use
It
your
was
list.
the hall
Hall pass.
pass.
You with the list.
I love men. I love men. I love the window shop. I love all that.
Mm,
However,
you do. You like your dudes.
one thing could change everything in an instant. Now, I've been with the same man for 30 years, so he's doing all right. But
Ooh.
oh, like needy. Oh,
Ooh, you don't
like
like a needy dude?
no, and
What
I'm
do you
not
mean by, wait a
needy.
minute, wait a minute, wait. What do you mean by needy?
Like if they're
In what
like,
way?
are you
Like
coming
saying, Aunt,
home?
can you get me
Or
Oh,
I can't do anything without you. Like I love that my husband buys his own clothes. Do I buy him shirts from time to time? Yes, yes. Can I do I buy his underwear? No. If he needs a belt, he goes buys it. Also, when we go to pack to go away, I don't pack for him. And I'm not judging other
I
relationships
don't
that do
pack for
that.
Pete either. No way.
I will not pack for you. I don't know what you want, but I love that my husband's a really good dresser and he dresses himself and he buys his own stuff. I need a man who's independent. I need a man. My husband cooks dinner now because he knows that I don't like it. He's not waiting for me to come home and cook dinner because he would starve. But I used to. But that's what I mean by
I
needy.
remember
Like,
when you used to
okay,
cook.
he has his own friends. Oh no, I shouldn't say that. He has friends. We have a lot of friends we share, but he does have other friends. But um he's if I want to go out and do something without him, it's not like, oh, well, what am I supposed to do? Cool. Like, just cool.
Hmm.
It's completely, we're both equally independent, but then love to spend time together. So I think there's a good balance. So that's neediness. All right. So he's independent, needy. Um, I also love being really independent, and I want you to acknowledge that and respect that, which my husband does. But I also still want a guy who will open the door for me. A
Uh-huh,
guy
I
who
agree.
like I still want all that like old-fashioned charm. I want that kind of stuff. You're going to open the car door for me, or I don't know, like I said, cook dinner or any of those kind of stuff. Hold my hand, walk across the street. Although we don't do that enough, but
Hmm.
that kind of
Well,
stuff.
why is that? Well, but that doesn't, maybe that's not your thing, holding
So
hands
we
and
do. Like
maybe.
honestly, we do, but when we do, we're not even thinking about it. So I don't even think about it. Like if we're walking back and forth to the stadiums or that kind of stuff, we do. There's not a lot of
Oh,
places where
yeah,
we
right.
walk and we're holding hands. We're not walking the mall and holding hands. We're not walking. That's just not our thing. To the point where we were
Hmm.
walking somewhere. Where were we at? I can't remember. And Ella was with us, and we were holding hands, and she was like, "Ah, what are you guys doing?" And we were like, "What are you talking about?" Because she had
That's
when do
interesting.
the three of us walk
Hmm.
together where we're holding hands? So and that was actually
Hmm.
just in the last year. And we're like, Ella, we do hold hands. We do really love each other. It's just not something we do all the time.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
it's
like
kind of
that
funny.
balance.
Kids have a hard time with people loving. What else? What else? I didn't mean to cut you
So
off.
that's mostly. I also don't like them very pretty. My husband always says I like guys that are bordering on ugly, but it's not true. It's more about the whole
Oh,
package. So it's all about the whole
I
package.
totally agree.
So my
I
biggest
agree.
thing that I find the most attractive is like leadership. So we talked about being smart, we talked about being confident, but I like a good
Mhm.
leader. And my best
Yep.
example of this is, I love superheroes and I love Captain
I
America. He's my
know.
favorite. He's my favorite, Captain America. There's a scene in Avengers that sums it all up where it's the very first Avengers and this guy was like, "Why should I listen to?" He's throwing out all these orders, standing on top of a car, and this guy's yelling, "Why should I listen to you?" And then all of a sudden, like all the machines start coming at them and all the stuff from outer space. And then he starts giving orders. And then the guy was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the other guy gives orders. Like, it's just this, he takes charge of the situation, not being bossy, not being an asshole, but like, you need me in this moment. I can lead. That was a terrible way to tell that story. My husband will be very
No,
disappointed the way I just
no, it
told that
wasn't.
story because it was like,
No, I get
but,
what you're saying.
but it's exactly it. I love a guy
Do you think
that's
your
in a
husband is that
leadership
way?
role. Huh? Oh, yeah,
And
absolutely.
do you think your husband is? Yeah. That's great.
Yes.
That's
So
great.
there's
That's
times where
awesome. That's awesome.
people think I'm super controlling and that I run everything. No, we actually have a really good like when we're going to say we're going to go on vacation,
Balance.
we
You
decide
do.
together where we're going to go. He takes over all the plans. We can go
Yep.
away. I walk out this door from the time we go here until the time we come back. I don't make a plan for anybody. I don't think about anything. He may plan the meals, the days, this. I don't care. I let him lead and just stuff at home. We make decisions and like sometimes I'll say something and go, no, we're not doing that. And here's why. Like, I like that. It's a good balance. I need someone to
Mhm.
check me because I can be a lot.
Oh,
So
well,
I
we
like
all
that.
can be a
That
lot. Let
that's
me
the
tell
stuff
you.
that works for me. There are physical things, absolutely.
I do. I agree. I agree. And it's funny because I can see that. I think you're both like that. I think you guys have an independent way about
We
yourselves.
do.
Like you do your own thing, Todd does his own thing, and I think that's great. That's a great balance.
But
But
if
I
I
can
ask
see
my
where he
husband
would
to
take
go
the.
get coffee, and well, he doesn't drink coffee, but if I said, let's go get in the car for 3 hours and just drive around, that's not something we would ever do together. I love
Really?
that you guys do that.
Why?
We are, because
Well,
when we go everywhere, we're always in the car for 3 to 4 hours all the time. So just
right,
on a
right.
regular basis, for us, that wouldn't be a way to hang out and settle down. Like we
Right,
may
right,
even
right.
listen to
That's
the same
okay.
podcast, but we don't listen to them together.
That's funny. Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's very
No.
healthy, and I think that's great. And I think the reason why Pete and I started doing that was because we found ourselves when we were at home doing things here, we would be completely distracted and it changes our personality with each
Sure.
other.
I get that. I get
So
that.
we would be just like distracted. And when we have kids around us, we're not the same with each other
Sure.
because we find ourselves getting pulled and distracted and we don't even speak to each other the
Hmm.
same way. So
Oh
that's what
yeah.
started. And actually, we started it before the pandemic had started. We found that if we were out of the house without any distractions and without any other influences, we were kinder to each other. We were more attentive to each other. We listened. And I am needy that way. I'm not going to lie. That's where I need to be heard, spoken with, spoken to, talked with, communicated with, back and forth. That was important to me. I mean, that fulfilled me. And then as the pandemic occurred, of course, it was perfect because of coffee. You could drive up to a coffee shop, and at that time, they'd run out to a coffee with 5 masks on, hand you a coffee, and you would drive
Right.
away. And then you would go on a drive, right?
And
You'd
then
go
you
on
don't
a
have to worry
drive, and you
about
weren't in any
catching
cafe.
COVID from
I wasn't
anybody
wearing
else in
my
the car.
mask, right? It was just the two of us, and that's where that all really it really grew from there, and it
Oh no,
became
that's
our
cool.
culture. Yeah.
No, I love
And
that.
that was our time. And even now we have to do that because and your family's probably the same way. The girls and you are probably the same way that our family is very like the four of us, we call ourselves the core four. We're together, we're all talking. We're all,
Yeah.
and Delaney's very smart and very involved and misses nothing. Neither does Ethan, but he doesn't say as much.
Yeah.
And though, and the opinions come out, and then you're like, oh, and you're listening. So as great as that is, that unity with the family, it does take away from our unity. It was the two of us before it was them. So
Sure.
kind of keeping that foundation. That's where that comes from,
Yeah.
you know?
And we need more of those. Like Saturday night was a really good for us because we hadn't been out a while. He was sick. We had the holidays with the family and all that kind of stuff and running around. And so, especially when Grace is
Yeah.
home, we don't get to see her that often. So we don't try to do anything else. I try to,
Mhm.
when she's home, we're like, it's just that. So we really needed that Saturday night just to go out.
When
No
we're
one
at
else.
our house or some at
Yeah.
our
With you guys. Yeah.
house, yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah. We
We
were
love
in the
it. We
car.
love
We
it.
were
I,
chatting and yeah.
yeah, well, you guys have a really good thing. And even if you can do it in just an hour or half an hour when you're
Yeah.
home with each
Yeah.
other, and
Yeah.
we can too. In fact, when we decide after we sit down at like 8 o'clock at night, and then we sit down and chit chat, same idea. And even because Delaney's out, she's very busy doing her thing, and Ethan's still, obviously living on his own right now. So, but it's important, and I think that's where that comes from for us,
Yeah, we'll
kind of
start
that
doing it more
connection. That's
again.
where
Again, we did it with the baseball games and we'll do more stuff. We watch our sports
I think
together.
that's
Our sports together, that's our like
great.
dates every week. So, to
That
watch
is so
football.
much fun.
Yeah,
That
so
is
that's good
perfect.
for us.
I
And
love that.
I enjoy when we go out to a restaurant and can able just sit and talk and it's just the two of us. So that's good too. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, and you guys are like that too. And I think we go hand in hand with like the friend thing. You have to, and again, it's like you have to be friends, which goes hand in hand with you have to like each other. It's really, really
Yep.
hard sometimes. It
Love is
really is
easier than like, for sure. Love is a lot
so much
easier than
easier.
like.
And sometimes I don't even like myself. So it's hard when you don't like yourself to like anybody else or for them to
Yes.
like you. So
Yep.
yeah. And by the way, that's part of the reason why I want to do this podcast. I think that we find ourselves and we calm ourselves down and we start to find the better things of each other. We find better things of myself and that's why this was what I thought was kind of therapeutic. So that's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
Cheap therapy.
Showing up.
Cheap therapy. Yeah, we show up. Don't we though? Woo! We show up.
No matter what we've been through all day, we
Oh,
show
not you
up.
with that
Yeah.
black tea. You with the black tea.
Yeah, which
One
is
of these days
cold
we gotta
now.
wine together and not
You
plan
know what?
it.
All right,
We
next
can't
next
plan the black
time
tea.
next time definitely wine because that when that gets warm it gets better. This does not get better when it gets cold. So it's
Well,
something.
that's good. That's good. That's really
Yeah.
good. I love it. Well, that's good. All right. Well, so we decided and you told me what are your sexy things? Give me your
I
five
did tell
sexy
you. I
things.
did. Oh, my
That's
five
all of them?
sexy.
Did you give me all of them?
Yeah, I think I gave you. I think I gave you everything and a little bit more. Yeah.
Like it. Well, how about that? You did give me everything and a little
I
bit
think
more.
I
All
did.
right. Yeah, you did. I see them all there. Perfect. It's all about balance. I love it. All righty. All right now. So let's get on to our new judge zone segment. New judge segment. I got show and tell tonight.
Okay. Let's see what you got.
Why don't you go first? You go first. I went first last time.
All right, what did I say in my notes? What did I think? Because I always try to where are we at
You,
with the
you worried? Are you? Wait a minute. Are
oh,
you
I
worried?
wrote it down. I because I knew I
Are
was
you
going to
worried
forget.
about me judging you?
I am not worried about you judging
Good,
me.
because I
Well, I
won't
think as we
judge.
were just talking about sexy stuff, right? So it
Mhm.
made me think of a story, and we didn't talk about a couple things here. I'm going to bring Tom Cruise back up, but not in a minute. But my no judge zone is that did I ever tell you about the time where we had a Halloween party and we had to dress up as our spouse? I don't know, there
No.
were 6 or 8 of us. It was just really kind of a small party.
Wait,
You
did you get
had
to pick the outfit or you didn't know what you were wearing?
No,
Was
you
it like a
did because you
surprise?
basically were
Oh,
wearing each other's clothes.
got you.
Kind of.
Mhm.
Not that my husband could fit my clothes, but we had to show up at this Halloween party at a friend's house, and it was before we had kids, and you had to dress up as the other person. So I didn't know. So speaking of sexy, so that's where this has come from. I didn't realize that I had an aversion to men dressing up as women. So it's not like other men dress up. Because if Pete dressed up as a woman, that would probably be hilarious for me. And I love drag queens. I love drag queen shows. I love that kind of stuff because they're not the ones I'm going home with at night. But I didn't know that I didn't like it because it never came up before. So we all got dressed. Now my
But
husband's got a
stop
beard.
laughing.
He's got a wig on that's coming to
Starting
here.
to judge.
And I think I was into like vests at the time. Maybe it was my country style. I don't know. But we drove
No
over in the
way.
car and I was just like, well, we get there and then something happened with the TV and all the guys are trying to fix it, all dressed like their wives and they're moving their
I got
hair.
a personal question.
What?
Did you guys have sex that night?
No, we did not. No, we did not. And every time I think I'm over it, I am not over it. So it's not other
Oh
people. I
no.
don't
You
care
therapy girl?
about people dressing up as whatever. It's the man that I'm taking home at night because I love like everything
You
about
just can't
like
do it. I won't judge you on
I'm
that.
still scarred. I will
I won't
find a
judge you on
picture
that.
and I'll bring that to another episode because we have a picture of it. And every time it
Oh,
comes up, I kind of put
oh,
it away like, I can't. I can't. It's disturbing on so
oh
many levels.
no.
So that I
How
do
long
not
ago
find
was
sexy.
this?
Well, it was before kids. So
How long?
I was
Oh,
married. I've
a
been married
long
25.
time.
So somewhere between 20 and 25
So
years
this
ago.
is 21. Wow. I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. I'm
Oh,
not going to judge you on that because, all right, I won't
I
judge
just
you on
had
that. I
no
mean,
idea that I
it's so
really didn't find
personal.
that sexy. No matter how fun we were supposed to have, I couldn't even enjoy myself that night because I couldn't even look at my husband. It was terrible.
Take that
Ah,
crap
it was
off,
terrible. I
Todd.
don't know.
Get rid of that nonsense. You're a dude.
And so he does. Every time he
Dude, don't
gets
look
a
like a
chance to
lady.
bring that up, he brings it up. And it's always like, I always have the same feeling. And it's only him dressing like women, like a woman.
Ugh,
All right.
ugh,
Anyway.
no. Okay. Okay. Well, it's my turn. My turn. So I've been reading this book and I don't want you to judge me.
Okay.
Okay. I've been really enjoying it. And I bought it for myself for Christmas.
Okay.
And yeah, my kids didn't buy it. My husband didn't buy it. And they probably should have thought about it because it would certainly be something that I would read. But I'm reading this book and I don't want you to judge, but here it is.
I can't wait. I didn't even know that book existed. Wait, so hold it up more. I only
Wait a
see
minute. Wait a
who
minute.
wrote it. Did they both
So,
write it?
oh,
Wait, oh,
no,
it's a kid's book. Oh, I just saw the. Oh, how
it's a kid's
cute
book,
is
okay?
that?
So these are my guys. These are my
I know,
guys.
I love
Okay,
them.
okay. You remember these bound books right here? This is about 5 pages.
Yes.
Anybody can read it.
I was not at all expecting that. I was expecting some self-help
I know
book
you
or
were. No, you were. Well, this is self-help in some kind of way. So yeah, so
I
here we go. Here we go. There you go. These are Travis and Jason as little guys right here. Look at this. Look at this little shot of little my buddy Jason when he was a little guy. There he is. Okay, this is what
I
I
love it. I can't wait to read it when I come
my
up.
new
I
favorite
had no
book.
idea that existed. Oh my God,
Yeah,
that
well,
is
I found
awesome.
this at Target. Where, and
Did,
this is true story. So I found this at Target at Christmas time. And
oh,
Pete had no idea, the kids had no idea, and I bought it for myself and I wrapped it. And this is my this is my
that's
Christmas
a great
gift.
idea. I love it. I just didn't know
So
that existed. That is not at all what I was
yes, well now
expecting.
you know. So
And I
these
totally
so
wouldn't judge. It's
what about
football. I love them
what
too, both.
thank you. Don't judge. Don't
Nope, not
judge.
going to
So
judge.
and of course I listened to my guys. I wore my new white shirt while I was working out yesterday watching the podcast because it comes out on Wednesdays. They interviewed LeBron James. What a great dude.
Yeah, I saw
What
little
a
clips. I
great
didn't get a
dude.
chance to
I'm
watch it yet.
not
Yeah. I actually never watched them.
but
I only just
amazing. Now and so now, of course, because this is the sexy, not sexy, I'm going to put these guys both into sexy, of course. Although I'm going to have to tell you, this guy right here, I find sexy. Travis, he's probably sexy in there. He's not my type. I
I'm going to
think
agree.
more
Jason
Jason.
does it for me. Travis, I'd love listen. He seems like an amazing guy. He's
Wasn't
really good looking. That would work too, but
no doubt he's with
not as
Taylor
much.
Swift. He's got great taste.
Yeah,
But
he's got
remember,
great taste.
Jason Kelsey wasn't Jason Kelsey voted like sexiest man of the year or was in the running? He
I
was in
don't
the
remember.
running.
Maybe one of them.
He
Yeah.
didn't make, yeah, he didn't get completely not he was nominated, but he didn't win. And I still
Okay.
think he's highly sexy.
Okay.
Anyway,
So
thought that was
we
so
didn't
appropriate.
talk about the guys. I don't know if we were going to go back or we're going to skip over that, but we could talk about it really fast because I know we're going really long here. But
I know we got to cut this
the
off, but
thing that
gosh,
Tom
we
Cruise
talk
that I
all
was going
night.
to tell you about, he's not attractive. We were talking about guys that aren't attractive
Oh,
or attractive. Okay.
yeah.
All right. And then I got to tell you something about Tom Holland. So, two things that completely brings a lot of this together. But Tom Cruise, I do not find sexy as a person. But
No.
you know that
Me
show
and
on
Tom Cruise are gay.
Lip Sync Battle? Did you ever watch Lip Sync Battle?
I've heard of it, but I never watched
Okay.
it.
So you have to look up two episodes. So there's one where Tom Cruise does that, that song, I Can't Feel My Face When I'm With You.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think
okay.
I've seen a clip of that.
Got the weekend?
I can't feel my face when I'm
Okay.
with you,
So speaking of
but I
sexy
love
songs,
you.
I love
Yeah,
that song. I just think it's
yeah.
a
Wait,
fun
Chris
song.
Brown maybe. Mhm.
But then if you look it up with Tom Cruise on Lip Sync Battle
I
doing
saw
that
that.
song,
I
he is
saw
super
that.
sexy with
Now
it.
you say it.
You're like, oh my God, Tom Cruise is actually sexy. He pulled off sexy. That's what a great actor he is.
All right.
That was
I
really
have to
cool.
watch it
Okay.
again to be a
Okay. So
judge of
watch it
that.
again. It's one of those ones that doesn't get old for me. The other one, I still don't really love men like men. All right, so Tom Holland, he is a little young for me, but he's a cute kid. He's cute. He's adorable. I love him as Spider-Man.
Way
Blah
too
blah blah
young
blah
for
blah.
me. Don't
But
like young guys.
so he's not somebody I'm lusting after. However, he does. He's on Lip Sync Battle. It's the one where he was with Zendaya. I don't know how if I say her name wrong. I think it's Zendaya. So anyway, it was the
Zendaya, yeah,
first time they
beauty
were on. They
queen.
weren't dating and they were competing against each other
Oh,
and they both killed it. But he came out and did Umbrella by
oh yeah.
Rihanna.
Yes. I saw a little clip of that one
Super hot.
too.
Super hot.
All
He's
right,
dressed
now I
as a
gotta watch it
woman.
again.
It was the dancing, it
Yes,
was the whole package. And I
yes.
remember
He's doing like
watching it
flips
and
and
like,
stuff, right? Yeah.
yeah, so they're the two best that you can watch because then I was like, okay, guys dressing up as women, maybe not so bad. And again, he's young, so there's all these things I'm like, oh, I
Ooh.
wouldn't. But apparently he has dance background, so he's super hot in that. And Tom Cruise, so lip sync battle can make you hot if you're not. Now Tom Holland is,
Oh,
but too young for
Tom
me, but
Holland, definitely.
adorable.
All right, and we talked about Timothy Chalamet earlier today. And Timothy Chalamet, you don't find him hot.
Not
He's dating
at all.
Kendall
Kendall
Jenner
Jenner,
or whatever.
yeah, not at all. I mean, one, I don't want to bad mouth him.
$1 billion ain't
He's
making
just
her sexy.
nothing. No, nothing about him is
She's not
sexy to me.
sexy at all. And neither is Kendall Jenner. None of the Jenner girls, none of the Kardashians. They're
Gorgeous.
all I don't know. I mean, Chloe, the went blonde, the Chloe that used to be on a little bit heavier side and
Yeah.
slimmed up and all, she looks great. Kim, absolutely, totally turn off to me. I mean, I don't think she's sexy one bit. I don't
Again,
think so.
beautiful, not necessarily sexy. And I think
Courtney,
the Jenner girls
no,
are naturally pretty. Well, I don't know,
they're
naturally
very
is the word use.
pretty.
Yeah,
They're
they're all
very
very pretty.
yeah, naturally. You wonder about
I
that with
don't
the
know. I
with
don't
all
know.
the
My
enhancements.
girls have been
But
watching it a little bit, and I've been following it a little bit when they're watching it, but I will
keeping up
never
with the
put it on.
Kardashians,
Hmm?
keeping up
Yeah.
with the Kardashians.
No, yeah,
Listen,
I'm not
let's
watching it.
say it. It's entertainment. It's like President Trump. Can't take your eyes off him. He's entertaining.
I can
Let's leave it
now,
at that.
and I will.
Correct. Correct.
But
Right.
yeah, but yeah,
Exactly. But my point is, they're entertaining. They're fun to watch. Whatever.
yeah.
But no, not sexy. Nope. None of them are sexy. I'm trying to think of what woman do I find. What women, what actors, what actresses do you find sexy? Ashley Judd used to be freaking sexy off the chart.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Not so much
Gorgeous,
now.
sexy. Okay. So what? We are
Um,
reversing it where they're sexy, where they're gorgeous and
yeah,
sexy.
throw some names out there. Let's think of people. Let's think of some famous
Beyonce,
people. Sexy.
Rihanna, super hot.
Sexy. Way sexy.
Um,
A train wreck, I think, in personal life, but that's irrelevant. Talented,
maybe, but
very
she's hot.
sexy.
Uh,
We say Carrie Underwood. Not
no,
sexy.
no.
Oh, now let me back up. Even when
American
she
Idol.
auditioned on American Idol, so cute, wholesome, not sexy. Not sexy.
No.
She doesn't have a sexy
Listen,
appeal at all.
Carrie Underwood does have the best legs in the business, though.
I agree. Well,
Her
they
legs
used
are
to
in
be. I
shape,
think she
and
went a
then
little
she
too
shines
extreme.
them up, and they're.
Maybe
Well, I'll
she puts
take
all
her
that
extreme.
really nonsense stuff. I think now they've gotten to be a little too muscular, a little too manly looking. But
Well, maybe I haven't seen them in a while, but
yeah, but yeah.
who else? Like Angelina
Um,
Jolie. We
no, no.
beautiful. She's had her moments where she was gorgeous, but I don't
She
find her
had pretty
sexual.
features. Maybe she got the high cheekbones and whatever. No, not sexy
But in the
at
same
all.
token, I would say the same thing about Brad Pitt. He's a little too pretty for me. He was great in
Way
Thelma
too pretty.
Louise, but then
Well,
I
now, by
just
the way, he's got more wrinkles on him than a prune,
he might
and
yeah, use
he's
some eye
not
cream.
as still looks great. Men
Yeah,
can wrinkle, we can't. Men
yeah,
can wrinkle and they look fine. You go past those
yeah,
wrinkles. When you look at
yeah.
men, they're wrinkled up. You're like, oh man. Like you look at some guys that are completely wrinkled and you're like, they're still friggin' hot. Like Sean Connery when he aged,
I
freaking
loved
great
him.
looking,
I
great
loved
looking
him.
dude. Sexy, great looking, wrinkled,
Sam Elliott, is that the right name?
wrinkled.
Well, he's
Sam
also like
Elliott.
80 some years old,
Yeah, but freaking
but
looks great.
dude's pretty
Yeah,
hot.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But girls can't do that. So the bottom
No,
line
we
is
don't have the
like
luxury.
that
No.
new Madlock, that new with Kathy Bates. She lost a lot of weight. And she's I've never thought of her sexy one day, especially not in Misery, breaking people's knees. But she never was sexy. Wrinkled from here to the moon. Definitely, and she can't have wrinkles. Men can have wrinkles. We just
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, no, they wear it better. They age
Well,
better.
so
They
what
get
else do we have
gray
on
hair and all
there?
that. Yeah.
Oh, Nicole Kidman. Now, Nicole Kidman's in that new series, that Lioness series. Have you watched that?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Lioness?
don't think I'm going to, but yeah.
So we
Are you?
watched the first episode, and I was like, I can't watch it. It just doesn't appeal to me. I've since watched 2 seasons now, and Nicole Kidman is not attractive to me, and she is no way. She's anti-sexy. She's the anti-sexy. I
Yeah,
mean,
isn't
she
it
is
with her with a young kid too? Like a young guy who's
no,
domineering or something?
not in that one. Not
Oh,
in
what?
this one.
Oh.
I don't know which
Oh,
one that
that
one
one's
is.
baby face or something. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know that one.
No, so Nicole
Anyway,
Kidman may not be, but her husband Keith Urban is. We've already talked about
yes,
that.
he is definitely sexy.
Yeah,
It's but it's very, very interesting because what sex appeal is like sex appeal is not like especially for men. I mean, like I can't resist my own husband in jeans. Like I first of all, I think my husband's
yeah.
adorable because he's my husband,
Sure.
right? But
Right.
he looks incredible in jeans, and my husband to me has incredible sex appeal for me. Everybody has their own thing. It depends on what it is.
Yeah.
Men don't have to be that chiseled, gorgeous guy to be sexy.
No.
Women, there's a different standard. It's a different thing.
We got to work
It's
a
all
little
good.
harder, at least on the physical stuff. I feel like you're,
Yeah,
I don't know. I actually think
I
in going
know.
Botox and doing all that work to try to be sexy, most guys
Oh,
don't like that.
oh my gosh. So
And
I'm
you
not
end up
gonna. So
regretting it anyway. So just fight it with everything you
I
have
got
the
a funny.
best you can naturally.
So I have another funny story. So I was on Facebook. I don't do Facebook as much as I used to. I'm not a big meta person anymore. Sorry, Mark Zuckerberg.
I'm with
You
you.
don't have to fact check me because I'm not putting anything up to check. Don't worry about nothing. It's all good.
Listen, some of the
Anyway,
facts, some of the things people are putting out there saying, go ahead, check this. You don't check it anything. There's some great stuff out there now.
I
Actually, more entertaining than it was
gotta
before.
see it.
Yeah.
Oh
All
my
right.
goodness.
Finish
Yeah.
your story.
Anyway,
Sorry.
so there's a girl on there that I had worked with way back when I worked at a satellite site of the hospital that I'm doing now. And I got her a job at the main hospital. She came down to the hospital and whatever, and she was trying to finish her degree. She finally finished her undergrad degree, and she wound up leaving and getting another job. And she wound up getting this semi promotion. And I was always kind of shocked at the position she went into. And there were some rumors going around about her and her behavior. And I don't know what was true and not true. It was irrelevant. Anyway, some stuff happened with her husband, who knew as well. But anyway, her husband and her had come to our house, I don't know, 15 years ago. And we were on our deck and we were talking, and she said, my husband wants to switch off in the bedroom. I went, excuse me? She goes, my husband wants to switch off in the bedroom.
I mean, was that an invite for you in that
There was an
moment?
invite. There was an
Oh, I always
invite. I
thought
guess
about
she was going to
you
have an
like that.
intimate moment with my husband. Right. You always thought that. You always thought
I
that.
always thought you were
No kidding.
swinging. Yeah.
And then you wanted, right, right. And oh, I'm sorry to disappoint. Sorry to disappoint. But anyway, you never know, right? It may be in another life. So her husband evidently was attracted to me, and they're younger. They're younger, and there's some stories about him too. But
Ah.
we go on about those maybe off camera, maybe not. So he, evidently he had some type of attraction. She's like, "Oh, my husband." I said, "Well, I really appreciate this. I'm very honored, very flattered." I don't think so. Let's just have a couple cocktails and call it a night. So
How do you
anyway,
have a night after that? All right, keep going. Keep going.
we laugh. I laughed. And he was quite the drinker. And I don't know how much he even remembers, or even she probably remembers. But anyway, so we went on to, have a great night. She wound up leaving the hospital and going on to another job, like I said. And she disappeared off of Facebook because about 5 years after that, her husband shows up on the news and got himself in trouble. He was arrested because he happened to be a landlord and whatever he did, some kind of strange thing. He wasn't really all that wrong, but he got himself in trouble. And I believe he was obviously, you know, relieved of any charges and not in serious trouble. So whatever, she fell off Facebook and I hadn't seen her. A few days ago, I look on Facebook and I see a picture of her and her children and her husband. And I went, who is that? What? It didn't even, she had all kinds of facial, she must have lost
Mhm.
a ton of weight, looking fantastic. She had kind of
Hmm.
funny features. She was a pretty girl, always a
Yeah.
very pretty girl. She had all kinds of plastic surgery, got her MBA. I was so proud of her. I'm like, this is amazing. But getting to the sexy, not sexy, her husband and her being so forward, hey, we want to, I was like, not sexy. That was just, and especially because there had been issues and comments and situations where he was a little non-discretionary and a little
Okay, yeah, so we didn't
behavioral
talk about
issues.
that.
So
Unfaithful?
he had some issues.
Not
He had some,
sexy.
not on Facebook. Well, I don't know about on Facebook, but yeah, he had,
Wait, I lost you.
oh, I'm back. Some questionable things that had happened with this guy in the past. But
Yeah.
I was like, anyway,
I can't think
that's
of anything less sexy. If my husband were like, "Oh yeah, I think we should try this tonight while we're out with someone else," we would be
hey,
done so
Mary,
fast.
it'd be odd.
We would not come
It's
back from
odd.
that.
It's
No,
odd.
we wouldn't come back from
Ah,
that. So I
well,
didn't say Facebook though. I said
considering
unfaithful. Being unfaithful is not sexy.
unfaithful, no,
Unfaithful.
no way. No,
Mm-mm. I will not
no
stand for it. No.
way.
Nope.
No way.
Nope.
So
Nope.
anyway, I thought that was an interesting thing, and that was how that went down.
Yeah.
And I can't relate. And that should be my. Let's get to our. I can't relate
Okay.
zone. I'm going to say that I can't relate to a woman trying to farm off her husband and herself because she's just going at his decision. He was a raging alcoholic. But I will say he was extremely successful. He did very well at his job. She obviously has done very well for herself. But putting yourself out there, there's a lot of things about her. There's some rumors that went about with her and relationships with people at the hospital that we worked with. I think it just, I can't relate to that because you put yourself out there. It's just not a good thing. Not a good thing.
That's your can't relate.
Who needs to be judged there?
Okay.
That's
Did you
my
have
can't
anything
relate.
else?
Do you have a can't relate?
I
I don't
do
have
have a
anything
can't
else
relate.
tonight for the can't relate.
My thing is,
Oh,
I
share
guess it's
it.
probably if we're talking about like unfa but one night stands. I can't relate. Have I had them?
Oh,
I'm not going to answer that question. Um,
oh, that's a yes.
that is absolutely a yes. But
Well, one night stand all the way. One night stand
yeah, like
a
all
little
the
biddle
way.
better.
Like I can't imagine. I mean, have I had
Oh,
them? Yes, I was a teenager once, but
why
just
not?
that whole I don't like the word comfortable. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like to use the word comfortable, but just the awkwardness of
I do
a
agree.
one night stand. Not that I'm ever having one again, or the option will be there, or that I want one, or whatever. But the fact I just don't understand those people that are just sleeping around and all kind of stuff. Because there's just something about being with the same person that you trust and all that kind of stuff. So do whatever you need to do, whatever your thing is, but just somebody new all the time wouldn't work for me.
Mhm.
Um,
No.
but I don't like
We
the
know
word
that the
comfortable.
generation
Somebody I
of
feel
today,
safe with, someone I feel adventurous with, somebody I feel fun with. That's better. Yeah.
I agree. But the generation of today are much more comfortable sexually than we were. And I or the and I think they're open to a lot more than we were
Good for them.
and are. So they just do it. Look at the girls in high school having sex with all the guys and I don't know, sex is not
Young
revered like it used to be. And then it's not a Catholic thing. I mean, I grew up Catholic, you grew up Catholic, and they certainly say reserve your body until you're married. And that's a whole nother story for another
and
day.
bullshit.
I don't
Yeah.
agree with that. I don't agree with any of that. Sorry. But I will say that the sexual limitation was greater when we were younger. Like we just
Uh,
reserved ourselves,
yeah.
regardless of religion. Now,
Because it meant
all
something.
is
Because
out
it meant
there.
something.
It meant
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah.
And what
But
happens when you go past that?
didn't we
What,
talk
what,
in one of the episodes about young people, the low rate of sex with certain people, like they're
well,
not having
men,
sex as much
men.
either?
Well,
Was it
I
men?
think
Yeah.
also, yes, it was men. Like men between the ages of 18 to 25 are having less sexual experiences than they used to.
Okay,
And that's
that's
related to
crazy.
social media.
Yeah.
It's post-pandemic. It's related to a lot of crazy things. But I think looking back at women, like young girls that are having sex in high school, like anal sex was a big thing because you wouldn't get pregnant. Like, are you kidding me?
This is
What? That's
crazy.
nuts.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
nuts.
Yeah, that's
That's absolutely
crazy.
nuts. Nuts. It's a
Yeah.
different world. And anyway, well, Dan, I think on that note, it's a good place.
If
It's a
anyone
good
has
place to
stayed
stop
up,
our sexy conversation.
and if anyone
Sexy,
has
not
stayed
sexy.
along to listen to this entire episode, thank you, because we
God
did go
bless you.
overboard. We did talk a lot. Um,
We did.
we
Sorry,
both had
everybody.
rough days
We
today.
got a
We
lot to get
needed
out there.
it.
All
So,
righty. Well, okay. So did we decide what our next episode was going to be? Is it going to be
I
women in
thought we did.
sports? Women in sports. How about Are We Our Mother?
How about we are our mother? I think that'll be fun.
Are We Our Moms? Are We Our
And
Mothers?
and we did toy with having some guests, maybe bringing our children on and see if they're available when we do
See if
that.
they
And
agree
if
that
they
we're
would
not our
want,
mothers.
God, I hope that's what they say.
They can be honest, but not cruel.
Could we ask the children if they are their mothers?
Ooh. Ooh, I
Ooh.
like that
That would be
twist.
another little tip.
I
Yeah,
like that
yeah. So
twist.
am I my
That's
mother, but then are you
a
your
great
mother?
idea.
Yeah. Or you just a mother?
I like that. Mother, mother.
Yeah, no, I
Ooh,
no, we could have some fun with
that's
that.
a
So
little
that'll be
rough.
our next one. Okay. And we won't
I like
go
that. I like that.
2 hours, which whatever we did tonight.
No, no, we have to stop. We have to stop. We could talk all night, but we are done. I think we're done. I think we covered
I
the sexy, not sexy for now, and I think we should end it here.
I think we should. It's been lovely. This is what we needed. A little bit of laughs, a little
Love
bit
it.
don't take ourselves too seriously, and we're
Right.
sorry for any inappropriateness.
Oh, no, we're not. We love it. All right.
All right. Until next
Well,
time,
thank you all for joining us. Thanks for listening. Thanks for looking at us. Yes, until next time. And thanks for listening to Just Our Take. I'm Nancy Smith.
I'm Danny Ingvis.
That's Just Our Take.
Good night.